Hello, welcome to this early morning taste challenge. It's still not dawn yet, but it's coming. I have two 40% alcohol, non-age stated Canadian blended whiskeys. And this one is Crown Royal, the most famous Canadian blended whiskey, introduced in 1939 by Seagram's Distilling Company for a royal visit, King George VI and his wife, Queen Elizabeth, to Canada for a tour, first British monarch to visit Canada while being a monarch. Here is master, because there was one who was a prince when he visited and later became a king. Here's Master Distillers blended Canadian whiskey. Actually, it might have been two that visited as a prince. This was introduced in 2025. It's from Collingwood Distillery, and it is bottled in Kentucky by I.W.A. Distilling Company Limited for Walmart, it appears. And you got to calm down. Portable portable. Hey Jay, how's it going? Peace to you. Oh, kind of tough right now. The kitten is really out of control. No. Leave the carpet alone. Play with your toys. So I'm gonna have to go fast. All right. Get away from the carpet. I said no. Stop it. This is just regular Crown Royal, but it's actually Crown Royal Deluxe. That's the actual technical name of it. But most people just call it Crown Royal. Get away from the carpet. Calm down. Why don't you relax? All right. Not going to be too easy today. Show you the websites. Oh. The Master Distillers might be a little lighter, but they're pretty close. Pretty close. Good morning, Joe Cobb. Thanks for watching from Canada. Here's the Crown Royal website. They're rye, black, and the Deluxe is part of the signature series. But they spell Deluxe two different ways. Deluxe, and then you notice over here, Deluxe, one word. Even a big company like this, has problems getting their act together. Unique blend of our finest whiskey, fully selected by our team of master distillers who work to create harmony in the sum of its parts. Although they sell parts of it, you can buy the Crown Royal single malt, which is the malt whiskey version of the malt whiskey part of it. I don't know how that would taste. Probably good, I guess, if you like malt whiskey, which I like. Walmart's website was down yesterday. It wouldn't work. Don't know why. Here's Master Distillers. Glass bottle, real cork, real wooden cap. And if you notice, they say, you can't read that's kind of small, but it says perfect for sipping neat, enjoying over ice, or mixing into classic cocktails. It's about the only 3 ways you could have it. Crown Royal. Let's see what the price is for that one. A $7.50. Get away from the wires. See, I can't kick her out the room because then she'll try to. Let's see, Crown Royal. The big bottle is $45.98, and that's your deal, really. Yeah, $23.98. Yeah, that price hasn't gone up in years. It's been $23.98 for probably 5-6 years. Even with tariffs and all that business. Okay, the competitor, Master Distillers. Now, I'm sure this. I don't think too many people are going to do it. Walmart has these private label brands. They're on, a few people will buy them, but not an enormous amount. Most people are not going to give up Crown Royal to buy some obscure brand, even though it's probably just as good. We're about to find out. I have had Crown Royal. Oh, cats are more hyper at night. Yeah, and she's really hyper right now. Are you Eastern time? I'm Central time. Louisiana, Arkansas, Missouri, Illinois, Western Tennessee, Iowa. That's all Central time. Minnesota. Are you a Louisiana native? Yes. Get from out of there. Come on. Come on. Get out. Go up there and rest. You got to be tired by now with all this running, huh? Haven't you gotten tired yet? Apparently not. As soon as the video goes off, you'll probably go to sleep. Ow! Get off my blue jeans. All right, I got to do this fast, as you can see. One thing, she'll make you go quick. You want to show the people how you've gotten bigger? They can see how bad you're acting. Come here. Ow. Ow, 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 ow. She is pretty cute. Hard to stay mad at her, I bet. You sure are patient. It's not hard to get mad at her, though. You were in a barrel at the car wash, and maybe I should have left you in that barrel. So let's taste this one. I got to do this while I'm tasting. Smells like regular old Canadian whiskey. You get a lot of grains. Like say a multi-grain bread, because you're looking at mostly corn, probably 80% corn, probably 15% rye, and 5% malted barley, but I don't know that. I don't know what it is. There's 50 different whiskeys blended in, the website claims. All different ages. The youngest is probably 3 years. You can't go lower than that. The minimum age for Canadian whiskey is 3 years. Has to be at least 3 years. That's not the law in the United States. They can be young, very young. I've seen bourbon 6 months old at Walmart. It was so light, pale, I didn't want to try it. Uh, yeah, same. Maybe a little maple type syrup thing. Lord, she doesn't know how good she has it. I know. She looks super cute and young, less than a year old. Yeah, born. The doctor thinks October 1st. So she was like 3 weeks when I got her. Like really, I think she was still drinking milk. I gave her the soft cat food. She could eat that. Then she wanted to go to the crunch. Well, I started substituting the crunchy in, and she liked it. They're super hyper at that age. I know. Have you seen the Canadian Club 100% rye on sale? Yes, I've seen it for years. It's got a green label. I've never bought it. I think I would enjoy it. Can you say which industry you are working in? Just a part time. I'm retired from teaching. I used to work in the government industry, if that's an industry, but I gave it up. It's hurting my voice. I had to talk so much during the day over those loud air conditioners. Let me see if I can get this smudge. It's like a smudge on the lens. Yeah, helped a lot. And going home from work every day with my throat hurting from talking, it wasn't really pleasant. Plus, high school, in America, high schools are run like prisons. I prefer a more liberal arts approach, not, incarceration. So I was like, I don't want, I'm not a prison guard. Anyway, she's got a lot of activity. I'm telling you, when I turn this video off, she's going to get up there on this towel and probably sleep for 6 hours straight. All right, taste time. Cheers. I'm not in the liquor industry. I don't work for a beer or a liquor company. Probably be fun to do it, though, I guess. I've never done it. All right, so this tastes very standard. Just your standard Canadian whiskey flavor. Oh, that was my leg you grabbed, not the toy. Yeah, Crown Royal is kind of a standard prototypical flavor. Like if somebody said, "What does Canadian whiskey taste like?" You would want to give them Crown Royal because it's like the standard. And I think they're trying to make master distillers mimic that standard as best they can. Yeah, this one has a more robust, full flavor though, like more fruit. Not that there's any fruit in it. Although Canadian whiskey can have flavoring added, they can add flavoring, and they don't have to. Shirt's getting untucked. They don't even have to put it on the bottle, on the label that they add flavoring. So they can do that secretly. They can tweak it. You'll never know. You could ask them, like teaching, laughing out loud. You don't need that stress. Yeah, tell me about it. I know a lot of people went into teaching, man, and after 3 or 4 years, they were out. They were like, I'm getting another job. But I was like, I'm staying until I get that retirement. I'm going to get paid every month, forever, hopefully. That's why I can work part-time, because I get the retirement check. You would likely be very good at advising liquor companies on marketing. Oh, yeah, and such. No idea how you would get a job like that, though. I don't either. Maybe you have to know somebody. I agree with high schools being run like prisons. Yeah, teachers are really underappreciated in the U.S. and Canada. And they had a lot of discipline problems. A lot of the discipline problems that were caused by the teachers. Like I used to make a joke. I used to say half of our problems at this school are caused by shrieking middle-aged women, screaming at students. I'm like, why can't you just tell them something? Why I got to yell? I'd probably be a belligerent too if you're yelling at me. So they would say, can you believe this student told me this? I'm like, yeah. So I was like, I got to get away from these screaming middle-aged women. I hate to say it like that, but it's really the truth, And then I want him punished. Well, yeah, he did wrong, but you incited it with your, you probably got to go home and listen to their mama yell, and then they got to come here and listen to somebody yell at them. I wasn't a yeller. I would just say, Here's the rules. I had 4 rules in the classroom, and you can follow them or not follow them. It's up to you. You do what you want. I say, but it'd be a lot easier if you just follow the rules. But you decide. Usually they would follow the rules. Only problem is they would behave, right? So my class, the principal would say, "Oh, they're so quiet." I say, "Yeah, they're probably looking at their smartphones." But then they would have other teachers that couldn't control the kid, like he's real bad. So guess what? They'd send him to me. "Oh, you're good at controlling him, so here, you take him." I say, my reward for controlling the kids is to get everybody else's kid that they can't control. And yeah, eventually I could get them calm, typically. But then I got to deal with somebody else's project, behavior project. It was sickening. Yeah, my teachers in school were the ones who kept their cool. They got a lot more respect from the kids. That's good. That is good. People are saying that Social Security will run out of money. What do you think, Jay? Is it true? It could happen, I guess, if you spend all the money and it's all gone. I've been hearing that since I was like 10 years old. Ow! Since I was like 10 years old. It's going to run out of money. And then they used to say the world's going to go into a ice age. We're going to have global cooling. They used to say that in the 70s and early 80s. Global cooling, it's a crisis. Then nothing happened. So they decided, oh, no, it's not cooling. It's global warming we got to fear. And that went on, and then nothing really happened. So then they decided, oh, it's climate change, which is a catch-all. See, they decided around, 1998? The new talking points was climate change, which can be anything. See, if it gets colder, see what we mean? If it gets warmer, see what we mean? Look how moderate the weather is. Or look how hot. So I was like, okay, I can see where this is going. Got to stay one step ahead of them, All right, so flavor-wise, they're pretty close. I got to say they're pretty close. Me, because I'm not brand conscious, honestly. Now, I paid 40. Oh, yeah, I can't put it up here because she'll knock it down. Well, try to. I paid $44.99 for this bottle, and I still have a lot of it left. And I bought it years ago, and it even came with 2 glasses, the Crown Royal glasses. So that was a deal. But still in all, this is a little cheaper per ounce. Good deal cheaper per ounce. You can't see because of the glare. The Master Distillers, I'd buy that. I would buy it personally because they taste about the same, and you save $9 every bottle. Well, I'm talking about regular size bottles. Yeah, I'd buy the Master Distillers. This is me. Other people would be embarrassed because if their friends came over, they'd be expecting Crown Royal. But if they brought out this, they'd start teasing them. What is that? That's an off-brand. You're dumb. I don't like you anymore. Stuff like that. Even on a blind taste test like I'm doing now, they probably couldn't tell it apart. All right, now the reveal. The reveal. You're getting tired, I see. You're losing it. Good. Although now the video's almost over. Yeah, you don't want to run after it now, huh? You exhausted? Knew it. I say this is the Master Distillers because it's got a little less flavor, a little less like full flavor, but still good. This camera likes to get blurry. Let's see. I got it. It is. It is the Master Distillers. Not quite as good as Crown Royal. Okay. So Crown Royal wins, but that was sort of expected. Is Crown Royal $9 better, however, per 750 milliliter bottle? No way. Maybe 90 cents better, $1 better. It's better. So it's got a little bit more flavor. Is it using flavoring? I've never written an email to Crown Royal and asked them, do you add flavoring? Now you could ask them, because they have a thing where you can write comments or not frequently asked questions. Just write an email to them and ask them a question. If you ask them, does Crown Royal use natural flavoring in its recipe? And you didn't get a straight answer. If they said, well, we don't go into these recipes, so forth, then you'd know the answer, right? If they didn't add flavoring, they'd just say point blank, Crown Royal never uses flavoring. So that's how you can get the answer. Sometimes it's not what they say, it's what they don't say or refuse to say. You know, the old 1950s. Are you now or have you ever been a member of the Communist Party? Easy question to answer. Sir, I do not have to answer this question. How dare you ask me this question, Congressman? 20 years ago, our forefathers. Wait, I didn't ask you all of that. I didn't ask you for a speech, sir. I asked a simple question. Are you now or have you ever been a member of the Communist Party? This is an outrage. You have no shame, sir. You have no shame. It's like, okay, well, you know the answer, obviously, because you're not going to answer the question. They couldn't say no, because then they get them on a perjury charge. You see, they knew what they were doing. Of course, when the Senate or the House of Representatives asked a question, they already knew the answer. They had researched the person's background. They were just seeing if the person would expose themselves to perjury. 99 out of 100 times, they would go on a screed, screaming and hollering about this is an injustice. Sometimes they would foolishly say, no, I haven't been ever a member of it. Oh, okay, well, we got this record here showing. They got them on a perjury charge. So that's how they could get them. But back to the point, if you ask the company, do you add flavoring, and they don't want to answer the question, then you got your answer. Would you choose Pabst Light over all the other light beers in the industry right now? I would, considering if the price was lower. That would be the only really deciding factor, because is Pabst Light good? Yeah. Is it better than the other light beers? I don't see that. It's comparable. It's as good. But when I'm looking at light beer, I'm looking at price, because I always pick Milwaukee's Best Light. Why is that? Is it better than the rest? No. Well, actually, it might be a little more hoppier, a little higher bitterness unit. But otherwise, no, I wouldn't buy it, because, I would buy it because it's $21 for a 30 pack. Which in Louisiana, I know it's not a good price for other states, but in Louisiana, $21 for a 30 pack is the lowest price available at the time. So I hear the waste management company. You got scared, huh? You heard that sign. She jumped up because she heard that truck. And it spooked her. She was by the window. It's funny. So light beer, I go with price. Regular beer, I generally go with price, but there's other factors like calorie count and all, but I like natural ice works perfect for me because it's got the lower calories, decent, good alcohol, 5.9, if that you're into that, but gives it more body, and it's a pleasant flavor, so I'll buy it, $22 a 30 pack. Good morning, Jay and fellow viewers. Appreciate your channel and content. Have a good day, says Jeff G. You too. Well, y'all take care, everybody. Sorry for the cat disruption. Then he retracted the message. Okay. Strange, but see, now she's calm. Sorry for the cat disruption. She was at her peak of craziness. She gets that way in the morning, where she just gets like totally crazy, like and then she as people like to say, crashes out. She just dead to the world, because she just exhausts herself like a child does. That little kid plays. You tell them you need to go take a nap. No. I'm not tired. And they keep playing and playing. And then you say, okay, play in your room. And then you go look 5 minutes later and they're on the floor, knocked out. They don't have a good sense of a middle ground. All right. So Crown Royal, the clear winner, but not by that much. And if you take price into account, and I guess a lot of people these days should, maybe they don't, but they ought to, instead of buying $8 coffee at the store, they could make their own coffee for much cheaper. You can buy a bag of coffee for $8. But when you consider price, I think Master Distillers is probably the winner. All right, we all take care now and have a nice, pleasant Thursday.